Whoops. I have no idea what just happened.
Told you the wrong camera was on.
Let's go ahead and change that camera, shall we? Hello, everybody. It's Brad.
And I'm Krista.
With the Big Family Homestead. And hopefully this is the right camera.
Yay!
Yay!
I told you it was the wrong camera.
I don't know. So, hey, everybody.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
We got, let's see who's here in the house. Tina. We got Leah. Leah. Tina. Lydia. We've got Butterfly Enterprises. Weedy Gardening. I thought I saw Larry in here earlier.
I did too.
We are going to have a lot of fun today, guys. I am so happy that our internet works enough to stream from home so we can cook.
Yes, yes. So hopefully it looks better for you than it does for us because it's little fuzzy.
I don't know why. I don't know. So thinking of others, hey, everybody. Now here's the scoop. I was watching you guys in the chat as we were going, and you were helping each other out. Mm-hmm. That is fabulous. Mm-hmm. Just keep in mind that, we're going to go through the whole process, and you can add, you can interact with each other. That's part of what makes a live chat so cool.
Yep.
So with that said, Mama, you are going to be making
buttermilk biscuits.
That is correct.
Yep.
Now these, ladies and gentlemen, are part of the reason why I am the man I am today. I'm in shape because pear is a shape.
Round is a shape.
So here is the recipe. We were putting that in the pre-show, but we're going to try to kind of just say hi to everybody and get everybody a chance to grab stuff. And if you're watching this as a replay, not a problem at all. Right. We'll just skip ahead to where we actually start chatting about it, or pause the video here so you can get your biscuit on.
Ingredients.
Get your biscuit on, Mama. Baby.
Oh, stop.
Get your biscuit. I get some sugar.
Okay. So, where we're going to start, I've already gotten all of my ingredients out because the way our kitchen is situated.
It's not big.
It's not big, and it would be very clumsy for me to keep walking back and forth, and so I just got everything out. I didn't measure a thing, though. So,
well, and you're actually looking at the entirety of our kitchen. We consume it.
Right.
We've got a little island here, and then that's it.
Yeah.
There's
a stove and about 2 feet of counter space over there.
Yeah.
Because the other side over here has got an ice maker on it, and the other side has the dish drain on it. So,
excellent. First things first, though, Mama.
So glad we have an island.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Praise God.
Yeah.
First things first, if you're baking along with us, or if you're baking watching this in a rerun, you got to get your oven going.
Yep. Got to turn on your oven to 450 degrees. Yes, I said 450 degrees. I know it's hot, but
they don't take a long time.
It doesn't. No. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Peggy Pope, thank you so much, sister. Come on, girl. Tell me about it. Hello. It says, Whitney Gibson says, I love that you put your ingredients up prior. I've saved it so that I'll have reference to the future.
Awesome.
We're here for you, sister.
Awesome.
Come on.
Glad. So to make this work out the best, to make it the best tasting, we're going to go ahead and make our buttermilk first. This is not real buttermilk that you would get after you churn cream. This is a fabricated kind, and it's faux. It's faux buttermilk, and it's not the cultured stuff that you get at the store. Because real buttermilk is a thin, it's very thin. It's not thick like you get at the store.
Yeah, it's like viscous. It's not as thin as water, but it's not as thick as cream or milk.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead. I measure with mason jars because
we always have mason jars.
We always have mason jars laying all over the place. See, if you look in our cabinet, that's what we use for glasses.
But for those who don't measure with mason jars,
we want 3 cups of milk. And we have our own cow, and I like to always where's my line? There it is. It's hard to see. We always take the oldest milk because it's not. It's funny because it doesn't taste good enough to drink, but it's not bad. It's sour. It's sour milk, which is still really good for you.
One tip from Dixie Living Homestead, absolutely a pro tip. She says start with frozen butter or lard and grate it like cheese into the flour. That's perfect, and we usually do that. However, time got away from us,
Yeah.
so we're going to have to kind of jerry-rig it.
Yeah, I actually had to hunt down our lard because I thought I had one in the refrigerator, and we did not. So we had to go get one from the basement, which the basement's warm because of the wood burner, and we had to throw this in the freezer.
We did make that lard, and it's pure white. It's nice.
Look at that.
But here's a question Annie's asking. Could you make this with whey from cheese making? Same thing, yes.
Yeah, you could.
Same thing.
Yeah. All right, now for each cup of milk that I have here, I'm going to use 3 tablespoons. I'm sorry, no, scratch that. For each cup of milk, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of vinegar.
And you can use lemon juice if you don't have it.
Or apple cider vinegar.
Yep. And I saw somebody mentioning earlier that if they didn't have that, they could use cream of tartar. I've never heard of that, but it sounds like there's enough acid in there to do what you need it to do.
Yeah,
so
cream of tartar is a powder.
We'll go ahead and zone that in on the close cam, and we'll show you.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a good stir.
It's the wrong camera.
Okay, well,
okay.
I'm going to give this a good stir. That way all of that vinegar gets mixed in there.
Yep. Nordic Homestead. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Andy's Tennessee Life. Hey, everybody.
Doubtfire.
Yeah, that's what they even quoted it there, Mrs. Doubtfire voice. Okay, so if you're just jumping on, it's buttermilk biscuit time, people, and I'm so hungry. I'm ready.
You didn't eat lunch.
I was clicking away trying to get all this right.
Yeah. Okay, so now that this is mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. And then we'll get our dough mixed together.
And that is basically the equivalent to the buttermilk you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now.
What's up, Will?
I did that totally wrong.
What?
I'm making a double batch. I have the double batch memorized in my head.
Let's go ahead and go back to the regular batch recipe.
We're only going to use half of that milk. Yeah, we have a big family, so I always make a double batch, and I have that memorized in my head. So we're only going to use half of that.
Okay, let's just pour that half of that off of there so we don't confuse anybody.
Right.
Yep, so what you need is 1.5 cups of buttermilk, not 3 cups of buttermilk.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah. So, hey, we got TJ's in the house, Nordic Star. How's it going, Lydia? NNR's Foods Kitchen. Susan Marie Schuster. Hey,
That's
welcome.
What we're going to use.
There we go.
That we'll give to the chickens.
All right, so next up, what we got, Mamacita?
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put 3 cups of flour into our bowl.
And since that crazy camera over there is not working, I'll try to hold things up as we need.
And it doesn't have to be bread flour. It can be all-purpose flour.
Andy says he's on his way because of biscuits. Tell you what, man, if you make it here in time, I'll make you prime rib.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a long way, brother.
And I had a hankering for beef stew, so we're having beef stew for dinner.
That's why we're having biscuits today.
Yes.
Yahtzee.
So actually, I'll leave that there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and finish putting in our dry ingredients. We need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda.
In you go.
But my baking soda is a little clumpy, so I'm going to smash it up in my hand.
Yep.
I don't know why. And then 2 tablespoons of baking powder.
Well, you guys know that if you watch any of our live shows on Sunday nights at 7 Central, you know I have like this thing and I just have to do it. But Mama, you look so good. You're worthy of an explosion. So, Mama, rock on with your bad self.
Thanks, honey. All right.
Have the power of the boom.
So 2 tablespoons. I know it's a lot, but it's tablespoons of baking powder.
Hey, it says 50 Shades of Greens from the UK. Hello.
Nice.
Now, what football team do you root for? Because I'm actually a fan. I'm a fan.
That matters.
Yeah, but Rooney's now playing over here in the United States, so that's kind of a big deal.
Yep. All right, now we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Like I said, I have the double batch memorized because we make biscuits so often.
Let's go here. Yep, there you go.
So. Okay.
And now a word on that salt. This salt is the pink Himalayan salt. Mm-hmm. You can use whatever you want, but we found that it's not quite as salty, and they're supposed to be, I mean, who knows? All the nutritional people are like, oh, it's so much better for you because it's got the yada yada and the yippee skippy in there.
I like it. It's got lots of minerals in it. It tastes good.
Okay, show them what you're doing there, Mom.
All right, so I just mixed up those ingredients, the dry ingredients, and then I'm going to go ahead and get our lard.
Okay, Cindy, was that tablespoons or teaspoons of vinegar?
Tablespoons. 1 tablespoon of vinegar per 1 cup of milk.
We just made too much buttermilk, so she poured half of it out.
I did. Sorry. Brain cramp.
Wild and wonderful. Never had biscuits till moving to the U.S. Oh my gracious, what a horrible thing.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Well, hopefully you're in remission. Now you can biscuit it up.
All right.
Okay. Our oven's heated up, by the way.
Yeah.
And don't forget, 450 degrees.
It was already pretty hot. I had just baked a couple of loaves of bread before.
Nordic Star says, do what you want. Experts are not all that. Amen.
Yeah.
We always tweak recipes to whatever it is that we like.
Right.
And even earlier, I was saying, Mama, because she likes the lard biscuits, and I love them, but I like the butter taste. And so I was like, well, why don't you do half and half? And she said, nope. Gotta be lard.
Lard's free.
And oh shoot, who was it earlier? If you can get it cold and grate it, that is the very best.
Better, yeah.
That is the very best.
Our lard is not, so we'll make do.
I'm gonna chop it in.
Okay.
What's neat, baby?
Nothing. All right, so I put 6 tablespoons of lard in here, and I know that seems like a lot, but it really makes it taste really good, real nice.
Really nice.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking my pastry knife, and I'm just mashing that lard around to make it smaller little bits.
Here, let's see, can we do this a little bit?
Almost the size of peas, and so that way it's mixed throughout the flour.
Tina's asking, can you use tallow instead of lard? I don't think that would give you the same flavor.
I don't know. And tallow is from beef.
True.
So
it would give you a different flavor.
It would give you a different flavor, yeah.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Bandana Grandma.
Hey there.
How's it going?
Are you babysitting that baby again?
The only place I've ever had biscuits was at McDonald's, says Will. How shameful. Dude.
Come over for dinner.
I thought you were an American.
Yeah, wow.
I know he lives close to the border up there, but daggone. Really?
My goodness.
Real biscuits are the only way to go, brother.
I am just disappointed.
Next time you're around, brother, we'll make some biscuits in gravy. Yeah. Southern style.
All right. So there. It is all nice and crumbly. Where you got flour and pieces of lard all mixed together.
Jessica's asking, does it matter if you use butter instead, taste-wise?
No.
It will taste different.
Yeah.
It's really up to you. I think that the lard biscuits kind of get a little more fluffy-ish, and they kind of taste that there's a hint of bacon in them.
No.
Just a hint?
Ours doesn't. Okay, our lard doesn't have that bacon flavor because of the way we cooked it.
That's why I said hint. Hint. Oh, geez. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here comes the diva in the kitchen. I better just look out. I will just sip from my custom-made Big Family Homestead cup. Nordic Star says, no tallow. It has a totally different consistency and can actually negative taste in some things. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, okay. Will says, I'll be over next week. Okay, double dog dare, man.
Let us know.
Double dog dare. I've had them at KFC, says American Girl, New Jersey. People.
Okay, now hold on. These KFC ones used to be really good.
They changed the recipe.
And they're not as good anymore.
Yeah. In all honesty, when we first started looking for biscuits about 8 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
We started doing all the copycat recipes of the KFC biscuits.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, this is good. And then she kept tweaking it, and just got better. Yep. All right, so what's next, baby?
Now we pour our milk in. So.
Okay, we'll give them one more second to look at the, someone was asking about the buttermilk. Premium to twins. Can you freeze uncooked biscuits and fake a few out as needed? Or take a few out as needed, I'm assuming?
You probably could.
Wrap them tight.
Well, no. I have had bad experience with freezing dough. What I would do, honestly, is I would partially bake them and then freeze them. Because the dough just kind of... just kind of all melds into one. I've done that with like dinner rolls and
maybe
things
you
like
have to
that.
bake them first.
That's what I said. Partially
Yeah.
bake them. Like bake them for 8 minutes as opposed to the whole time. That way you can take them out, thaw them, and throw them back in the oven.
One quick thing before you keep moving. Bandana Grandma is asking, do you have the wrong title on your live stream? I thought we put a new title on. Is there a new picture? Hopefully there's a new picture. If the title's wrong, I'll go ahead and change it when we're done.
Right.
Okay, so what's next? You got your lard.
We have our dry ingredients, our flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt mixed in, and then our lard mixed in together to where it's like really crumbly. Now what we're going to do, and I normally use my KitchenAid, but I'm not going to do that today because I want you to be able to see this being done without that. Now we're going to go ahead and take our buttermilk.
Let me hold it for you, baby, so they can see it.
You can't see it anyway, look.
Look at it, you can.
It's blinding.
You can. Ah, jeez, oh, Pete.
As I dump it on the ground. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
So, anyway. Okay, so I have a funny tip. I started watching this one cooking video of this guy from the UK. I cannot remember what kind of bread it was or what he was making or whatever, who it was. But he used this part of the handle to mix his dough. And I have been doing that ever since, and it has been fantastic. It simulates the dough hook on your KitchenAid.
Oh, yeah.
It really works well. So, that's what I'm going to do.
As you're doing that, they're answering that, I probably forgot to change the title. It says no milk from you, or for you.
Oops.
I'll change it after we're done, guys.
He was having some struggles with the internet.
Everything was
fighting.
Everything was fighting. I actually had a camera that was looking outside because it's snowing outside. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I had a camera there, and I had a camera close on the thing. But whatever. We're still gonna plow through.
This is better than not having a cooking show.
True.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour our milk in, and just give this a good stir to where it's just well combined.
Oh, Anne's making turkey soup for dinner. Oh, my gracious.
Yummy.
Boy, oh, boy.
We're making beef stew.
Beef stew. The beef stew.
And it will be a very sticky dough, and that is okay.
When you get it to where it's at, baby, show them.
I will.
All right. Grampy Campy says, awesome. Thank you.
And this way, too, using this part of the handle, it doesn't overwork the dough.
So what would consist of overworking the dough? What would happen?
I'm not exactly sure.
I think it gets flattened down a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't it get flattened?
Yeah. Okay. Let me go over here and I'll show.
Hey, Rainbow Valley Ranch. Oh, here she comes. She's coming for the close-up. There you go.
Does that work?
It's working.
Good. So it is sticky, but that's really okay. Daddy, can I have one of those
Yes, ma'am.
red spatulas?
Ooh. Hold still, sister.
I didn't misbehave today. Give me that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some flour down on our, I use one of the pie, what are they called?
Hold up. A mat.
Yeah, one of the pie mats, the little acrylic or plastic pie mats, because it's easier to clean.
Oh my gosh, I want to go to Melanie's house. She's having pork chops, mashed potatoes, cornbread. Oh
my.
You're just missing the black-eyed peas, sister. You got the perfect southern dinner.
Nice.
So now you're dusting the mat?
Dusting the mat, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this on top of the
mat.
The mat.
Bert 1997 says overworked equals tough.
There.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
Couldn't think of what it was.
And Joe Christian says we wish we lived closer to you. And you know what? You can always come on over for dinner. There's always more.
Yeah. And these are so easy to make. I usually make them in the double batch. That's why I have the recipe memorized, because we make them a lot. And the kids will eat them for breakfast. They'll put eggs, make them egg sandwiches, and it's really worth it.
I got to tell you what, that is the best when there's a nice big one left over, and then you've had it, just kind of wrap it on the counter and throw that in the oven while you make a nice egg, like a fried egg. Oh, so good.
Yep.
Green beans too. Come on. Heck yeah, says Melanie.
All right.
Jane's having pork chops, bread dressing with apple and craisins and green beans.
Oh, yeah.
Jane.
That sounds yummy.
You know when like somebody at church or a friend of the family is sick and you bring food over to them? Just saying. I might need some help.
Yeah, honey, the help you need
is costly.
It's very costly.
It's costly.
Right.
It is cost prohibitive.
All right, so like I said, the dough is going to be sticky, so I'm going to just dust it with a little bit of flour just so it doesn't stick to my hands. And then I'm going to knead it so that it sticks together a little bit. Not a lot. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to overwork it.
Now, Red Tank Girl's asking a question I do not know how to answer because the fat content in goat's milk is different. She's asking about, can you make the buttermilk with goat's milk?
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
There's enough fat?
Yes.
Okay. The answer is yes.
You can't do it with like a skim milk.
Or cat milk. You can't do it with cats. What about buffalo? That's what they make the best.
You know, my eye is twitching because of the way it seriously is twitching.
That's part of my deal. That's part of my deal. It's in my contract. I've got to poke the bear enough to get her to smile. Watch out. No, just kidding.
Okay. Good Lord.
You have stained me.
I did.
You've soiled me.
I flowered you.
She soiled me with her flower. She's a flower fairy. All right, well, tell me what you do.
Okay. So I am just pressing this out. I have used a rolling pin. On days I don't feel like getting it out.
On me.
I just press it out. Honestly. That's my mother-in-law always said, God gave you these first, and this is what she did everything with.
Hey, Tyler. Saw that you called earlier. I was working.
Just press this up.
Yeah. And so she's got the pie ring. Now, what is your goal? How big do you want this ring to be?
It's not a ring. It's the thickness on how thick the layer of dough is.
So if you had to say how thick that was, I'd say...
about a half an inch.
Yeah. Or the
maybe
size of
3/4.
a dime, maybe, or a penny in height.
About the size of your fingernail.
There you go.
Short fingernails, you know.
Yep.
Of course, I do have long fingernail beds, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, just, thick enough to where it's not, not pie crust thin and not humongous, because they're going to rise.
Yeah. Sharon, this is Sharon. She says she's been married 55 years and I still can't make these worth a darn. Go back and watch the thing from the start and tolerate me, and then,
right.
You can learn.
Right. Okay, so now what we're going to do,
One ring to rule them all. Sorry, distracted.
You are distracting.
Arnie was right.
Okay. So now I have a cookie sheet. You can use a 13x9 pan. You can use a round. It's whatever you want to use. This was just easy. Pretty much everybody has these. So this is just what I grabbed. So I'm going to take a little bit of butter and smear this around because butter does make everything taste better.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
So you just want to coat the bottom. And again, I use my fingers because it's easier. Right there. And I'm gonna, okay, now, clean my hands on the dough. Now what you're gonna do is start from the outside and take your biscuit cutter. If you don't have a biscuit cutter, a mason jar ring works really well. A big glass, a mug. However, I have found that if you use a glass or a mug, it kind of creates a vacuum and will shoot flour all over the place.
It sucks it back up in.
Well, and it sucks it back in. It shoots flour all over the place. Get out of there, silly fly. Now I'm just going to lay these on here.
Ooh, very nice.
And there's flour on the bottom, so I kind of, shake the flour off a little bit so there's not so much.
And here's the thing too, guys. We'll talk about this when it's baking because we've got a little bit of time while it's baking because we want to show you the whole thing.
Yeah.
That all the gadgets and gazmos and who's it's and what's it's, that's all in the description below if you're interested in any of the stuff. And he says, I use a cookie cutter. That'd work.
That works too.
Maybe you could make lion biscuits if you use like lion cutters. Oh, we should get the kids Play-Doh stuff. They got...
My eye's twitching again.
You can make little stacked up layered hamburgers. Let me do something with the dregs.
No.
I could make some. No. I could make biscuit art.
No. Okay, so I have all these little extra pieces.
Biscuit art? She's glitching hard.
I am really glitching hard.
Hey, Claire, come
so
here.
I've got all these extra pieces left, and I'm just going to roll them into a ball and then roll this out again. Or press it out, whatever.
Okay, hold on, Mama. Claire's here, so we need to give her props. She brought carrots for our beef stew. Come between Mama and I, because Claire's usually the mighty troll. There's Claire. She brought carrots.
Super staticky.
Did you get it cut?
She went to the beauty saloon.
Yeah.
All right, back to cooking.
All right, so make a couple more out of these.
Out of the dregs.
Out of the dregs. And they're gonna, they're not perfect, and it doesn't matter because, you know what? They taste good. So.
Homemade biscuits is an art. I agree, Grampy Campy. I could make something cool, like a Velociraptor biscuit. What's wrong with that?
No.
Do they taste different? Oh, geez.
Okay, that's done.
All right, so
and we have 11 biscuits. It says makes about a dozen.
We could have made them a little thinner.
I could have made them a little bit thinner, and I do press them down just a little bit, just to kind of give them a good squish.
She did shut me down there, Will. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They say marriage is an institution, right?
Put me in an institution, please.
All right, so for how long does it go in the oven?
It was in the oven for 400
minutes.
At 450 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And he always argues with me, but that's not the case.
It always takes longer.
It does
every time. Watch, you'll see. I would love to be wrong because I want to eat biscuits in 15 minutes. All right, she put it in for 15 minutes. All right, so here we go. Why don't you talk about the gadgets that you got, Mama?
Okay, so wait, this one. This gadget is probably one of my favorite gadgets that it's messy. It's all lardy.
Main bearing 68. Who likes thin biscuits? Negative.
No.
That's pretty much a cookie.
Well, and there was one time I left them out on the counter for half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and they rose up really big, and then they even rose up bigger in the oven, and they were really fluffy and really good.
You can totally leave them out, and it's to your taste.
Right.
And actually, I want to go back because I forget who mentioned it, but somebody mentioned they're with me on the half lard, half butter, baby. I gotta say,
it's fine. I make the biscuits, so I can make.
I make the biscuits that the whole world sees.
Also, you can pre-make the biscuits the night before. So if you're gonna make biscuits and gravy, you can make up a tray, cover them with plastic, throw them in the refrigerator. Not literally.
Yeah, no, really.
Put them in the refrigerator so that they. That way, then you take them out in the morning, turn on your oven, and put them in, and it's fast breakfast.
Well, Vicki Lynn is saying, I think she's at odds with you on the raising of the biscuits. She says, no, they will fall apart. But we had good experience with it.
They didn't fall apart. They were really, really good. They were really fluffy.
Sharon says, I hear the barn calling your name.
No. Okay, so with this particular gadget, because you told my eyes twitching again.
I didn't do that.
Well. Anyway, put that
Tell
down.
me if this hurts.
No.
That's a funny thing we do. You never actually do it.
No, I know. Okay, this particular gadget, I had gotten one probably 20 years ago from Pampered Chef. It's called the Wonder Cup. And there have been many varieties of this one, but this was one that I originally had gotten, and then it broke. I found another one at a yard sale.
Yeah.
A few months back, and there's lard all over the top.
She loves it. Uses it all the time.
Absolutely love it. Honey, peanut butter, oil. You just dial it into the correct measurement. It has ounces, tablespoons, teaspoons. It has metric on here: milliliters, liters, pints. Then there's cups, and this is so cool. So you just measure out what you want. So if you want 1 cup of peanut butter, I start out going this way where there's half, and then I pull it back down. So that way it makes sure you get in all the cracks.
Exactly right.
And then I fill it in.
Yeah.
And then when I put it in the bowl, scrape off the top. It's all clean.
All right. So Steve Gunnick is asking, do we save our grease after baking bacon? Sometimes we do.
Sometimes I use in other things.
Largely we don't, because we had our own pigs. We processed our own animals, and we made our own lard, which look at how creamy white that is. This stuff is absolutely, I don't even know how to put it. It's magical. For fat guys, magical.
Yeah.
I want to go get something because someone was asking about cheddar. If you can put cheese in it, and we've got the best solution right in there. The best solution.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about something else.
All right, so something else that I really like. Actually, these were a gift just recently. We got these for Christmas from Tim and Alicia, and she sent me biscuit cutters. And forever, I have used this. And I absolutely love my biscuit cutters. I don't care that they're fluted or straight. I think they're great because there's several different sizes. And yeah, anyway. But this is, what is this thing called? It's a, for eggs. If you want to make them perfectly round for your biscuits, that's what this is for. What was the other thing that I had? Oh, the pastry cutter. This is great. You know, if I'm using, sometimes I'll just use my hands when I break up the butter. If it's in clumps, I'll just smash it around. But this works really great if the butter or the lard is soft. Daddy, what are you doing?
Making a mess.
I know.
Here we go. No, this is it. It took me a little bit to find it. Now, all I got to say is, who here loves the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits? Me. I do. And we've followed their recipes. We've looked at all of the copycats. And one thing that we found is super cool and actually better is when you use the cheese, we use our freeze-dried cheese. I'm going to bring this over, but it's 100% freeze-dried. Can they see that, Mama?
Yeah.
It's our Thrive Life stuff.
Can you open it?
Yeah.
Show me
Take a look at that.
It tastes like crackers to me.
It's delicious. So you can eat it just like this. I choked myself.
Yeah, that don't do that, honey.
But the reason why this is so much cooler than regular cheese, because it's freeze-dried, it stays intact until it's just barely melted inside the biscuit. Yeah. Dang, that stuff is so good. Yep. Now, one thing. Tina says, pick me. This stuff is so good. But the thing is this. You guys know we're Thrive Life consultants. And we wanted to offer you a deal. If anybody wants to go and make a delivery, like you set yourself up for delivery, it can be any amount of money. $5, $10, $50, whatever you want. But if you do that, and we see that your name pops up as a new delivery customer, can be whatever you want, we're going to send you our cookbook for free. So if you want a free cookbook, go ahead and sign up for our Thrive Life thing. The address is down there, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, Pamela, I don't use shortening, have not used shortening for 5 years?
Yeah.
Because it's hydrogenized. Anything with those names on them, I steer clear of as much as possible. This
stuff, it's really addictive.
It tastes like Cheez-It crackers to me, and I don't like Cheez-It crackers.
I love Cheez-It crackers. But it's 100% cheese. That's what's crazy about it. This is a Colby Jack cheddar cheese. And so, like I said, when you put it inside a biscuit like that, it melts just at the very last moment. So it makes it kind of like pockets. Yeah. Oh, the other thing, if you're making muffins, the Thrive Life blueberries are perfect.
Perfect for muffins.
Tell them.
So you know how when you make, we've done this years ago. You buy the box of muffin mix, and it comes with the can of nasty looking blueberries, and it just makes your blueberry
just perfect
stuff. No,
smooshed out.
No, it makes your blueberry mix. I'm talking about the box.
Oh, I'm
stuff.
I'm sorry, baby.
Let me finish my story.
Sorry, baby.
The boxed mix, it makes it all blue and gross, and they pop, and it's, as you're mixing.
Mixed in.
Well, when we make our blueberries, we have the mix, and then I take our dried blueberries. I don't rehydrate them. I just throw them into the mix, and as they bake, they rehydrate. They're phenomenal. And then you don't have blue smears all over. You have just perfect blueberry right in the middle there.
Deadhead is asking, what do you use instead of shortening? We use lard
or butter.
and or butter. Today was all lard.
Yep. Well, butter was on the bottom.
I will say, though, that if you're making a pie crust, the only way to go is lard.
Lard, yeah.
Lard's the only way. Makes it super flaky if you're taking the time to roll it out nice.
Yeah. Now, you know how I told you I use this for cleanup? Look, done.
Yeah.
It's clean. All I have to do is dump this flour into the chicken box because the chickens absolutely love eating all of this good stuff.
Oh, Will at the Weekend Home says, not a fan of cheese, but I'd give it a try. What in the world? First of all, he's not had biscuits, and now he lives in Wisconsin and doesn't like cheese. I think you're actually breaking international law.
Yeah. How did you get so dirty?
You did it. She did it. She smooshed me with the stuff. Frozen butter instead of shortening. Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Well,
and the tip was use a cheese grater.
Dixie Living had said use a cheese grater because it works really, really well
Works
when you
right
use the
in
frozen
it.
butter.
Absolutely.
So I will do that next time. We have almost 6 minutes left.
Believe it or not. All right. Leah Williams says, great to know about the blueberries. We love blueberry muffins, but the blueberries are not growing right now in my home. I need to get some Thrive food. Yeah, you know what? And here's the thing, guys. We are consultants. We love it. You know, the Thrive Life food, it started out as a kind of I guess you'd say a prepper thing for us. Where it's freeze-dried, so you know it's going to be good, unopened for 25 years, 20 to 25 years, and it's just as good as fresh, like brand new. And in a lot of cases, it's even better because the way the produce gets from the plant to freeze-dried versus traditional grocery store stuff, it goes from the plant, they pick it while it's not ripe.
Right.
And then they gas it after it's been frozen, and they put it in trucks, and then it sits in a warehouse. So the stuff you're getting that you think is fresh is actually quite old, almost all the time.
Yeah. All right, Rainbow Valley is asking, does lard change the flavor?
Yes.
It does. It doesn't make it taste like bacon because of the way we cook the lard. You have to cook it. When you're rendering lard, you have to cook it at a low temperature for a while. If you do it at a high temperature, then it tastes like bacon. But the way we did it, low temperature, and it does not have a bacony flavor.
Okay, Thinking of Others asks, how can you get your cookbook? In the description below, there's a link, and right now it's $14.95, but it's like a lot of the stuff that we use as staples here. You're not going to find like meal in a box, like, get a can of cream of stuffed soup. It's all how to make it from scratch.
Right. Yeah. We have not used. I don't even think we have any. Cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, cream of celery. We don't have those in any way. I got rid of them all because I learned how to make it myself, and that probably should be another live.
We should do that.
Cooking thing.
We can make that as part of something else.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah, maybe we'll make some soup next week.
Yeah. So we were talking about the blueberries. These are the blueberries. Let me come around here.
And shake it so they can hear it.
There's the blueberries. It's just a blueberry.
Bite one because the crunch is amazing. It's crazy, guys.
So good.
And they're freeze-dried. They'll last fresh for 25 years. After you've opened it, a year. Oh, no, don't get her running over here. Our dog is a St. Bernard, and she is absolutely a beggar.
You like the blueberries, don't you, Nana?
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Even Nana likes them.
Cool. Rose Murphy's in Tokyo. Domo arigato.
Nice. Okay, go lay down, baby.
Yeah, that's all I know, and it's from the Styx song. Arigato. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. That's all I know.
No, I got it.
Yeah. Tyler Woods, agreed. Lard is rendered at a low temperature and not burned. Yes. You have to do it very slow and low, and it has to be very carefully done.
Right.
Did you just add time on there?
No, I did not.
We'll see.
I just turned on the oven light.
We'll see.
So, okay. So we have our own chickens. We have 23 hens, and I got to tell you, we have too many chickens. We have way too many chickens. And for us, we have too many chickens. A dozen chickens would be probably ideal. That way we can still have enough for us and still be able to share with our friends. But one of these eggs got caught in the chute. This poor chicken.
Sorry, I was just responding to Debbie. Mama just made this bread. It's still warm. She made it right before the show, and it's a It's a French
It's
bread?
our French bread. You know, you can make French bread into a long, small loaf, but I like it as a sandwich bread.
Yeah, it's nice
It
and
tastes
savory.
really good.
Yeah.
And then we had another chicken who lay one this big. So.
Yeah. You got to say, oh my gosh, that poor girl.
Yeah.
Where's the really huge ones?
This one. Well, this is the biggest one so far. We had some that were even bigger than this one.
In the past, we used to get double yolks and sometimes even triple yolks.
Mm-hmm.
And all I got to think is, that poor hoo-ha.
Mm-hmm.
That chicken.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Our chickens, they do like a victory dance when they're done. When they pop that egg out, they're like...
It's all chickens. Oh my goodness.
They sing
They're
and sing
so
and
loud.
sing. And then
They're
they
so
walk
loud.
off and forget they have a future egg in there. They just kind of walk away.
Yeah.
All right. Larry says, cream soup recipes as an amendment to the cookbook. Excellent. Thank you for the addition there. We're going to add to the cookbook. As a matter of fact, we're starting to work on other sides and recipes for holiday kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll have that sometime soon. Rose, I would love to have some fresh home cooking and bread. Come on over.
Mm-hmm.
Come on over. Bring some fresh sushi, you know? Probably not hard to find over there.
Mm-mm.
All right. I bet you heard that chicken scream. Yes, we did.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, in the house. No.
Arnie says, I had one that laid the size of a sparrow egg.
We've had that. We've had one where it was just slightly bigger than a dime. It was insane.
You know, an interesting thing, we processed in our own chicken most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
This season we were not able to, but the last time it was the craziest thing because we were picking through the birds and trying to find the meat birds rather than the layers. But some of the layers were getting old and needed to go anyway.
Right. We had some that were just not laying anymore because they were old.
Yeah. And when we actually had processed the bird and it's open and it's, the feathers are all off and Mama's taking the guts out, we actually got to see the track where all of the eggs are. Like a lot of people don't know that when a chicken is born and grows into maturity, all of the egg embryos that it will ever lay are already in the bird.
It's same thing with human females.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. When a female baby is born, they have all of the embryos that they will need, or the egg, not embryos.
Well, the chickens. It was crazy because when she was going through, you could see this line. There was probably a good another 30 or 40 eggs in there.
They're done.
They are done, and I stand corrected.
No, you're sitting them.
You, Mamacita, you have done excellent things. Oh my gosh, that smells good. You want to hold them up, or I can?
No, that's okay. I can.
Take them on over for the close-up.
Your hands don't fit in the mitts.
That's true. I got big mitts.
Mm-hmm.
I got big mitts in a can, not lie.
Gosh.
Some of you other mothers and brothers can't deny. Look at that. She was right. 15 minutes, guys.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'm risking burning my face off, but I'm going to need
your face off.
Oh my gracious.
Here, let me get a plate.
Oh my gracious. I'll just pick it apart.
Oh, you want some butter?
Oh, are you kidding me? Of course you have to have butter, baby. Look at that.
You're eating the
Ooh.
ugly biscuit. No,
That was
put
a small...
Stop.
What?
Look, do you see this?
That looks delightful.
Look.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
Ow.
That's hot.
Yowza. Here, let me get a butter knife.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. That's one thing I won't do with my hands is smear with my fingers.
All right. Not that it... Oh, yeah, this will be perfect because it didn't have butter in it. It had lard.
Yep.
Just a little bit more because I'm bulking up for football season.
Football season's over.
Next year. Next year.
You don't have the Super Bowl already?
It's the Supper Bowl. I'm coming over.
You know, the stinky thing is these are not going to be warm for dinner.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to make more.
Look at that.
Which is really not a big deal.
Can I see that as the butter drips down? Can we see it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's time, baby. Oh my gracious.
These are probably these are probably my favorite things to make bread wise.
Dang.
Because they're versatile. You can put jam, you can put honey, you can put butter, you can put biscuit or sausage gravy on it. An egg sandwich with a piece of ham on it. Oh, you can do so many things with these. I love them.
You want to try it?
Well, yeah.
It's so good.
Mm.
You know, the thing that's really cool, guys.
Mm.
Yeah, put some jam on it. Absolutely. The thing that's really cool is we've been on this live stream for what? About 45 minutes. And really, all of this could have been done quickly in about 30. From start to done.
Yeah. I'm going to finish this pitch.
Hey, wait, whoa.
You can have the other half.
It is okay. So here's the thing, guys. From scratch, start making stuff from scratch. I'm going to put the biscuit recipe up here again, but look at that. It's simple stuff. There's nothing in there that is going to kill you, well, like chemical junk that we buy from the store. And here's the thing. I know everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, look at the butter. There's butter in there or lard, and that's gonna be bad." Look back 100 years. What did the farmers and the country folk eat? They eat massive amounts of food.
Massive amounts of bacon.
Eggs and bacon and all that stuff. And then nobody got cancer, nobody got sick. It was a very, very small percentage of people.
Right, exactly.
Obesity was not a problem.
Right.
It's because of all the chemicals we're eating.
Exactly. So, you know, starting out small to start from scratch, this is small.
Easy.
This is small. This is easy. Another show that we'll probably do is making the beef stew, because that is easy. There's a few ingredients.
I'm going to ask folks, what would you guys like to see? Because I think the baking thing is a good thing, because a lot of people have this mystified, oh, I can't bake. It's hard.
Right.
And that's why we pick something like this where you just put it together and it's just going to work.
Right, exactly. And, you know, and we can do that. We can do breads. We can move to yeast breads. The artisan bread is probably the easiest yeast bread that you could ever make.
You know those breads you get at the fancy Dan, like Italian restaurants where, no, not Panera.
Panera has them.
No. Hold on, Mama. I'm talking about like where you go to like a Carrabba's and they give you the nice crusty bread and it's warm. And then they put the oil on the plate. And you put a little salt and pepper in there.
Grill.
Please, just a moment. It's not just macaroni grill. A lot of the fancy places. This is that kind of bread. It's not like a sandwich bread where you're going to cut it and make a sandwich. You could maybe make toast with it good, but it's like super crusty and then a little bit of thick. But it's got tons of flavor, and it is probably the easiest bread to make. Yeah,
it has 4 ingredients, and it is super, super simple.
So there you have it, guys. I'm thinking breads are pretty good. Yeah. Weedy Garden wants to see beef stew, but I think we got to be done for today.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Corn cob jelly. Yeah, that did not turn out as like we wanted, to be honest.
It did not turn out. It tasted. It was too sweet. In my opinion, and I like sweet things, but that corn cob, I like the corn cob jelly was too sweet.
Artisan bread. All right, we have taken your feedback into consultation, and we're going to try to do this, guys. It'll be, I think 1 o'clock works for us on a Thursday. Yeah. Because the school's done, gives us time to put everything together. Yep. And I'll be better prepared next time because I really wanted to have the extra cameras, but the computer was freaking out. So, a live stream of what husband can make when the wife is sick. Oh.
Well, okay.
Dude food.
He's not a good example of that because he cooks about half the time. And he makes stuff better than I do on some occasions.
Some of it.
Your lasagna?
It rocks.
Oh, it rocks. Yeah.
It rocks.
I'll make the bread. He makes the lasagna. We're golden.
It's a tag team.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you're interested in any of the stuff, you know, there's links below. The Thrive Life cheese, guys. Oh, tell them about the deal again if they want to get a free cookbook. If you
start a delivery service, doesn't have to be a huge amount. If you just start getting a couple of items monthly, we'll send you a cookbook for free.
Yeah, and that's
It's a PDF version. It's a digital download. It is not a printed out copy, which you could easily do at home.
Right. But that's for the remainder of the month of January in 2019. Yeah. Because people might be watching this video later.
Good point.
So if you sign up for any delivery, could be $5, could be $50, whatever you want. Right. You're going to get a free cookbook from us.
Yep.
So anyway, that's it, guys.
That's it.
You guys have an amazing day. Go make some biscuits, people. Buy some cheese and make some biscuits. Good Lord. He just lives in Wisconsin. He doesn't like cheese.
Well, Claire doesn't like cheese either.
That's not true.
She does not like a lot of cheese.
Well, there's a big difference there.
She likes a little bit once in a while.
Big difference. Say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye, nice people.
Goodbye.